Jesse, again, maybe some opening remarks from you in terms of how Ultimus sees the marketplace. Again, sure. You have a unique perspective, again, in terms of, as an administrator, you get to see quite a bit on the ground floor.
Sure. Thanks, Bob. Just to provide some context, so as Bob mentioned at the outset, we're one of the leading third-party administrators. We have over $500 billion in assets under administration and service over 1,500 mutual funds and ETFs. So I think we have a unique perspective in that, we service funds of all types, and by services that includes fund administration, legal administration, transfer agency, compliance, distribution. So a lot of boutique type services with an institutional strength and backing behind it. But we service funds of all types, but certainly a large segment of our client base is comprised of smaller and mid-size managers. And so we see a lot of what my fellow panelists are saying. We see sort of, let's call it the plain vanilla M&A activity, where you have a fund family that's acquiring another small fund group that maybe even has similar strategies, and so it's just accretive to their assets under management. It just increases the size of their funds, or it might complement their product suite. And so maybe they're an equity shop that doesn't have fixed income, or they're equity and fixed income and they're really looking for alts funds and alt strategies, and so they're acquiring those shops to complement them and round out their suite of services, and to also expand their distribution capabilities. So that's certainly a theme we're seeing, but I would say generally the other thing we're seeing is smaller managers that have really good ideas, really good products, really good strategies, but having a really tough time getting scale. So they get to that point where they're at 50 million, 100 million, 150 million in AUM, and they just can't get to that next level because of distribution challenges or other challenges. Those are the types of managers that are active sellers in the market and that hope to be acquired, especially if they have a niche strategy. But on the other side, back to Gilbert's point, we're seeing mid-sized managers looking to acquire product structures and asset classes. And so retail alts, you'll probably hear it come up multiple times today. That's a very, very active segment of the market. And so traditional mutual fund shops getting into that space, either by doing an acquisition or doing some sort of joint venture or other partnership, or just hiring or acquiring a portfolio management team that has those capabilities. And another big area is ETFs. And so as Gilbert noted, the entry to market for ETFs, or the barriers to entry have decreased significantly over the last 4 or 5 years. It's way easier now to launch an ETF than it was a few years ago. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have those capabilities from day one. So we do see some traditional asset managers trying to access that space, especially with active ETFs and smart beta strategies. We'll talk more later about some different flavors of those types of transactions and some other things that we're seeing that maybe can help our clients become more competitive, but that's generally what we're seeing.
Thank you, Jesse.